Okay, we had some high winds in Kansas and Colorado, and we had to replace our slide toppers. And so these are Carefree of Colorado, Alpine model. Let's talk about how you replace them. We've replaced two of them. One for the living area and one for the kitchen have already been replaced. And so the replacements that we got are from Tough Top Awnings, made in USA right there. ToughTopAwnings.com. I talked to them on the phone. I gave them my measurements and they did a good job for me. This is a 2020 Grand Solitude 310 GK. Let's talk about the mechanism first. First thing you have to do, and I'll show you on the other side when we do the bedroom, we'll just show you the bedroom last. This is the last one we have to do, and so we got some lessons learned. So on the right side of these slide toppers is where the spring mechanism is. And so you need to go up, first thing you do is you go up there and you unwind it and pin it. And so I pinned it with a small Phillips screwdriver, or you can buy a little pick tool from Tough Top Awnings that they'll give you. And so we'll get up on the other awning and show you how that looks. All right, so here we are in place. And so we've gone ahead and unwound this topper, and on the right side is where the spring tension is. And if you look down here, see there's a little hole right there? This little hole right here. On the other side, my good friend Brett's put a little pick in there to hold that. Now it's kind of, you can see it's holding the tension of that spring. I'm gonna put a tool on this side to make sure that that's where the spring tension is, but that's what we got. And then pull this dust cap off. Oops. And there's two screws, one here and one here that need to come out. And yes, they are the square heads. I think they're SQ2s or number 10s. These two side screws come out, and then there's one screw on the bottom that comes out, and then this this cap comes off, and we'll take this whole mechanism and we're going to set it down on top of the slide. Okay, once you take that, the rod that's holding the topper off, set it on top of the slide, and on each side there's a screw that goes in about 2 inches that is holding this topper in place. Take those out. You take those two screws out that was holding this fabric, this thing comes free now, and this fabric just slides right off. So here's the old fabric coming off. So what started this was we had a 3-inch tear on this fabric, not here, but single stitching on these, and we had about a 2 or 3 inch tear on the other side. And so we thought, well, let's just replace them all. So we've got 3 of them to replace. Out they come. Out with the old. Another YouTuber had a trick on just putting some spray. I just got some invisible glass. Put some spray window cleaner in that channel. Both channels, just load it up. And this thing will slide on better. So that's the plan. Okay, now we get the fabric started, and so you just feed it on, one side a little bit, and then come back to the other side and feed it on a little bit. And you can see that this side is flared out a little bit so that it's not catching on the fabric. And so we'll go ahead and spread that on now. Okay, we've kind of got the fabric. We got the fabric put on, and we've rolled it back on the roller just to see how the spacing looks. And so it's about where it was before. A reminder that this pick is holding the tension in the spring that's inside of this aluminum cylinder, and so be very mindful of leaving that where that thing is at. And so now we're happy with how straight it is, and so we're going to unwind it, set it back in here, and put the end caps back on track. More to follow. Reminder: this screw goes back in. This long screw goes back in. And it's keeping this fabric in place, and so it's going right up against that piping that's in that track. Use blue thread lock on the machine screw. On the reinstall, go with the side that's got the spring tension first, and for us it was all the right hand sides had the spring tension. And so put these 2 end screws on. You got 1 screw on the bottom, right? And then he's installing the screws on his side after I've got mine installed. Okay, we got it all installed now. I pulled that pick out. Now let's go ahead and release that tension, and we're just doing this slowly so we can smooth this fabric on the rollback, right? And it rolled out pretty smooth. Hardly any complaints. Maybe just pull yours back a little bit on that side.
This way?
Yeah, pull it to 1/4 inch. There you go. And so that just kind of snugged that down. And now we've got 1 screw that goes right back in this spot here that goes into the piping, and it secures this. Put your end dust caps on, and you're good to go. All right, here goes Brett putting in that final screw just to make it so that the slide topper doesn't shift, it remains in place. And so the replacement's complete. And so as you look, it's I think it's a thicker material, and the installation wasn't too bad. A lot of steps, but 2 people can do it. Moderate mechanical capability required. Have a good time. Okay, I had some ProFlex RV, and so I went ahead and drilled that hole on the top of the gutter on this keeper screw so that it's not up against the fabric. That head of the screw is not up against the fabric like it had been. And then I put a little bit of that ProFlex on there just to give it some stability. I shoved some up in that end as well, just to just give it a little grab. Anyway, there's the kitchen slide installed, and I'll go back and put some ProFlex on those end pieces just to give them just to fill that hole and give that I don't know, just to hold that a little tighter in that hole. Not a bad job.